honored to have here the legendary Tommie Smith and John Carlos here today.
I just have a name, and it is Tommie Smith, who did something that most people recognize. It was my stand for justice.
What did it feel like when you stood atop that podium with your fist in the air?
A sense of pride, holy divine, that I was put there to serve a purpose. Tommie Smith wasn't standing on that victory stand for hate. I have never been a hateful person. My whole background has been from the Christian experience, for the love, for the sake, but I had at that particular time, people, the responsibility of standing because I was asked to stand for what I believe in. And I still do that today. No hate was not a hateful thing. We represent that flag with pride because a lot of our people died so this country could make a formation of justice.
Just explain what it was like the moment you stepped off that podium.
A new life. All the work that after I stepped off the podium in Mexico City in 1968, John Carlos and Tommie Smith stood for the righteousness of justice and the freedom of speech, and the declaration that this would be a nonviolent protest, as it always has been the year and a half before. And this was our way of standing to emphasize the need and the love and the respect, the understanding, the conversation of athletes who had something to say.
It was an incredibly brave thing to do. Did you have any idea of the sort of reaction that you were going to get, though?
I had really very little idea of what type of hurt or harm and danger that would put me and my family in, because it was something that had to be done. It was my stand for justice, my freedom belief of the human nature, of mankind, no matter what color. It was the Olympic project, not for Black rights. It was for human rights, for people, for human rights. And I do believe that's why it spanned the entire globe.
Human rights, yes. Your own rights, though. Was it worth it?
Oh, of course I do believe it's worth it. I think a lot of people, especially the younger generation, understood at that particular time. And now, I guess it seems to me a rebirth of that stand, because it's basically the same. This system still needs the understanding, the idea of getting along. When I say getting along, meaning you can see the difference in the color, of course. Everything has a color, but in this particular human case, we have to work in spite of being Black or being white or being brown. It is a color of humanistic ideas of moving forward, being one instead of a bunch of absent-minded people who feel that they're better than the other because of color or because of money. Right now, it's still kind of blurry, but it's clearer now than it was in '68.
You won the 200 meters, you won a gold medal, and you broke a world record. What does that gold medal mean to you today?
Pride, justice, the infiltration of a system that needs understanding.
We've got footballers, who you'd call soccer players over there in this country, who take a knee every game. As a human race, have we learned anything?
I think we learned that it's a long ways to go in the effort of understanding, of love, and of the respect. I'm sure those soccer players and those basketball players, the women and the men, can understand that, yes, there is a difference. You know, the most difficult thing in the understanding is the knowledge of your inside, how you feel about a color. If we can get past that color and start coming from the heart out, seeing a person, seeing a human instead of the color of the human, I think that's a big step.
What did you think when you saw Colin Kaepernick take a knee?
It's working. And he made that change by sacrificing his life, by sacrificing his future. Sometimes we have to be charged, because that charge you must keep and move forward with that feeling of sacrificial movement. not movement for money every day.
How are you received in America now?
Still looked at as a question mark sometimes.
Wow.
People who meet me to talk to me know that I am no different than they are. I just have a name, and it is Tommie Smith, who did something that most people recognize, whether positive or whether negative. I'm not a negative person. I do believe I'm a positive person because I want people to think about what I say, not necessarily do what I say do. Who am I to tell you what to do? Just hear me and try to live a life of settlement, dealing with the mind of those who want to learn. And that's the younger generation. We're not going in place if we keep separate, stay separate.
How do you want to be remembered by the world?
A person who believed in my faith, the substance of the things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, meaning you have to be a creator of goodness. Positive futures are difficult. You can't eat ice cream every day and stay happy. You must mix it up and move forward with the generational changes as they happen.
We all saw how difficult times were under the last president and how America became divided. Do you feel that people are beginning to forget that if you're black or white, it doesn't make any difference, or are there still issues?
As I said before, issues, as long as there's man, there's going to be issues, okay? Politics, the last president, let's not go there now, because it's a bit much for me, especially. And those who are listening might say, yeah, you're right, Smith, it is a little bit for you. But still, I have to live. I have to live with these changes, with these ignorances.
But do you feel we're all heading in the right direction?
Well, gee whiz, we're still here. So there's something good is happening to what we're doing. The younger generation must understand that you are the future. You have a general right to make, or it will be broken.
Tommie, I don't want to embarrass you, but I want to ask you, would you say you're an inspiration?
I'm not perfect. I'll leave that with you.
Finally then, do you think there'll be a time when we no longer have somebody having to make a stand on a podium, or a man taking a knee at an American football match, or footballers taking a knee at football matches? Do you think there'll be a time when that is no longer necessary?
The time is already there for that to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. There's always going to be groups. There's always going to be yes and no's. But what side do you believe is more positive for you to stand so your future generations can stand on that and move forward? Gee whiz, if there's nothing to live for, what's the use of living?
Tommie Smith, great pleasure to speak to you. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome.